Welcome to Your Life at 50 Plus, presented by AARP, where your next real possibility is right around the corner. Connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/AARPNJ.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Your Life at 50 Plus, presented by AARP. I'm Jeff Abagnale, Communications Director at AARP New Jersey, and
hi, I'm
Christine Newman. Go ahead.
I stole your thunder
Introduce
there.
yourself.
Christine Newman, Associate State Director for Outreach at AARP New Jersey.
Now, we are here at the Elora.
Yes.
Oh, bad camera angle. Anyway, Elora in Edison. And why are we here, Christine?
So we are here because we are actually going to be hosting a great event here in December. I don't know if any of the people watching are familiar with Catch Me If You Can. Jeff, does that sound familiar?
I think it was a movie that the guy, the Titanic guy, I don't know.
Broadway show.
Yeah.
Right. So we actually have Frank Abagnale coming to talk to us about fraud and scams on December 6th. He is the real life inspiration behind the Catch Me If You Can story.
Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to walk in. You're going to get a sneak preview of the venue. And you'll see where the event's going to be held. We're going to encourage you all to attend. We have plenty of room, and we think it's going to be a really fun, informative event. And also, stay tuned, because after we go inside, we're going to talk about some scams that you should be watching out for right now during the holiday travel season.
Yep, just like we're prepping right now for this event in December, it's time now to start thinking about how do we keep ourselves safe, especially cyber safe this holiday season. So should we take a look?
Let's go inside.
Let's go.
All right, let's go inside here. This is the Elora, and it's in Edison. It's just been redone. It's beautiful in here.
And like we said, we're expecting a huge turnout here. So we've got we're anticipating about 400, 500 people that will be joining us to talk about this issue, because it's so important. I mean, I can't tell you, I don't think a day goes by that I don't hear from somebody about a fraud or a scam that they've been approached by, or someone they know. So this really is a top of mind issue, I think, and that's why we're doing events like this.
I think that when we post about fraud or scams on our social media pages, the issues just blow up, because everybody's been affected.
Everybody, yes. This affects people any age, cuts across demographics. So that's why we're really excited to have Frank Abagnale joining us to share his expertise on this subject matter. And like I said, it is happening December 6th, which is going to come in a blink.
Oh my Lord, it's less than 2 months away.
I know. So
this
now's
is the
time
space.
to be
I mean,
thinking.
this is beautiful here.
Yes, we've got the whole space. Like I said, we're going to have about 400, 500 people. We'll hope people watching can join us.
And I'll give you guys just a heads up. It's set up for a wedding clearly right now, but the only wedding happening that day is the marriage of your mind to the latest in fraud and scam information.
Oh, all right. My work here is done. I can't compete with that one.
Okay. But anyway, this is going to be the space, and there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. There'll be some informational resources given out.
So
There's
we're
going
actually,
to be. Why don't you tell people?
Well, we're really lucky to work with some great community partners in our work to help citizens in New Jersey protect against fraud and scams. So we're going to have representatives from nonprofits like us at AARP, government agencies as well, that really work to provide consumers in the state with the tools and resources they need to spot and avoid scams. So we'll have a bunch of different resource tables here for people to visit. We're also going to have a lot of food, some fun beverages, and then it's all going to culminate into Frank Abagnale's main presentation that will happen right over here at 7 o'clock on December 6th.
And what's great is that it's right in that sweet spot. You know, Thanksgiving's over, and it's between Thanksgiving and Christmas. What else are you going to do on a random weeknight?
Yes.
Come learn something, protect yourself, hang out with some friends, have a little bite to eat, and it's right here in Edison. It's right in the center of the state.
It's
really
very
great.
Convenient.
Yeah.
It's very close to the Raritan Center, so for anyone who's familiar with that,
Turnpike's right there.
Every major road comes through here. And again, the timing of this event is perfect, because the holiday season in particular is a time when we as consumers have to be very careful to protect ourselves from fraud and scams.
Now, Fraud Watch, you are the Fraud Watch guru. People are going to come on December 6th. What can we tell people now? I know there's some people are traveling, holiday season's coming up. there's a lot of things that people need to look out for, right?
Absolutely, and you should be doing it now before you start your travel plan. So, travel season for the holidays is a time that we all become a little more vulnerable to potential frauds and scams. So, a couple tips that you can use right away before you go on your trips for the holidays, before you leave, are things like really think about how many electronic devices you're bringing with you. I know in my family, just between my husband and I think we have 4 cell phones, we have 2 or 3 tablets or iPads. You don't need to bring all of those with you when you travel. And the fewer you bring, the easier it is to
Now this is
track.
a do as I say, not as I do moment.
I know,
because
I do bring all my
pretty much
phones.
Everything I own with me, which is not good.
Yeah, because the fewer devices you have, that's just fewer things that you have to keep your eye on. There's less chance of them getting lost or stolen. So really think strategically about, do I have to bring that 3rd iPad with me, or maybe will I be okay?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe bring the extra charger, but one less device.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
That's always what
Good
I need.
compromise. Okay.
Another thing that you can do right off the bat is before you travel, make sure that any mobile device you are bringing, that you've updated its software system.
Yeah.
You want to make sure it's completely up to date with the latest what's called malware protection. And it'll just make your device, it's easier to fight off potential malware attack while you are traveling.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then I guess the third piece I'd
Now
say
I heard
for...
something about baked goods, right?
You're talking about cookies.
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 Yes.
So that's actually more for when you are traveling.
Okay.
So it's important when you are traveling.
So we're gonna hold off on the baked goods. Finish before travel first. Let's do it in order.
So before you bake the cookies and go on the road,
Okay.
it's also really important to make sure that if your phone has a setting that it automatically searches for and will connect to Wi-Fi's, like some of our Bluetooth technology likes to do that, you want to make sure you disable that before you travel, because again, you don't want to be out and have your phone attempting to connect to different signals that you don't know, what those signals are, how protected they are. So make sure you disable.
You have to disable it because a lot of times you can have your phone in your pocket. It can connect to a Wi-Fi, signal without you even
don't
knowing
even
it,
know,
and
right.
you don't know who can potentially get access to your device without.
Also
you...
saves your battery life a little
That's
bit
true.
too. So,
Indeed.
Yeah. So those are some things you can really do before you even leave for vacation.
Now, what if somebody's watching this and they're already on the road? What can they do?
Well, definitely there's some things, and this would be an appropriate time to talk about the cookies.
Now, what should we do about cookies?
So with the cookies, you want to make sure you're disabling your cookies.
Bad cookie.
So that was a little literal. That's not exactly what we're talking about here, but close.
I tried.
Yeah. Do you want to explain
Well,
what
okay.
the real cookies
So
are?
truthfully, poor cookies aside, cookies, when we're talking about cookies, they're not actually baked goods. Cookies in reference to technology are small little pieces of information that are stored in your computer through your web browser that basically allows, you know what, I'm going to switch the camera so that people can see me. Okay, so basically, hi. When you're searching on the web, and it could store information about the sites you visit, your logins, all sorts of information that makes
like
it
little
easy.
bits, right?
Yeah, little bits that makes it easier for you if you go back to them to get in quickly, access things that you like. Yeah, they're actually very, very helpful. When you're using them for your own benefit. However, they do provide people information that you might not want them to have about places you visited and places you might be or might go, or login information.
And I guess the key too then would be,
Switch back to you now.
Say if you forgot to disable sort of this roaming capability and your phone's connecting to maybe unsecure Wi-Fi, and you have those cookies, those pieces of information that are being stored, then it's a lot easier for someone to access it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So rule of thumb: these cookies, okay, bring these in the car with you, but disable your cookies on your mobile devices.
Okay, that
All
works.
right. And then another really simple thing that we can all do is just really pay attention to when you are connecting to Wi-Fi. Are you in the airport? Is that really the airport signal? Sometimes we'll see what's called an evil twin scam, where con artists can actually set up a Wi-Fi with a name that seems very close to the real Wi-Fi's name. So like, if you go to a coffee shop, their Wi-Fi may be Coffee 101. Well, this evil twin Wi-Fi could be Coffee 123.
Evil twin? Are we talking about a soap opera?
I know, yeah.
That sounds like something in Days of Our Lives.
Well, and it is. It sounds serious and scary because it is.
It's meant to stick in your head.
Yeah.
And that's why we give these names, I think, these catchy names.
So that you remember it.
Yes.
So, if you're at the airport and you do need to get on Wi-Fi, just make sure you're actually connecting to the legitimate Wi-Fi from the airport. And then also, what are you doing on that Wi-Fi? Do not check anything that requires you to put in personal information when you're on one of these public
credit
sites.
card numbers.
Yeah, exactly. It's, if you want to like Google something, just, look up news stories, that's fine. But don't do anything about, with your banking, your email, because again, you don't want to open yourself up and make yourself more vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then I'd say the last piece, and I've got to say, I'm guilty of this too. I think we can all get really excited when we're going away and we want to share that. We kind of, want to brag a little bit about, hey, I'm going here, doing this. So you'll see people post a lot on social media when they're traveling, pictures of where they are, or even now you can actually log in or check in at certain locations. Really try to avoid doing that, because really what you're saying to anyone who's, maybe trying to like access your information, you're letting them know exactly where you are at that moment. And you're also letting them know that you're not at home and that maybe your home is vulnerable. So try to resist the urge to post on social media about your travel plans as well.
I think that ties into the idea that, social media, even if you think you have all your privacy settings locked down, you never really know. There's ways to get through these things, and if somebody's really determined, why make that obvious? Why make it easy for them?
Right, exactly. Don't make it easy for them. So those are some simple tips and tools we can all take and use for before we travel, while we're traveling this holiday season. Because like I said, we're going to blink and it's going to be here, just like December 6th is for us.
So I was going to say, speaking of blinking, it'll be here. So where can people go now to get information about this event? I know there was an article in this month's, is it next month's
November's bulletin.
Yes.
So what we'll actually do is we will post the link to that bulletin article with this story on our Facebook page.
Yeah, on our Facebook page, you will see it. We'll make sure that we post information about the event, and then stay connected to us on Facebook, because as soon as that article's ready, it'll be on Facebook with all the information about how to register, and maybe even a chance to get to meet Frank in a private VIP event.
Nice little teaser
I don't
there.
know. We'll see what we can work out there.
So we hope to see lots of people December 6th. In the meantime, take those tips and tools and help make sure that you are cyber safe this holiday season.
Alrighty, thanks, Christine.
Bye.